Hi, my name is Claire, and today we're going to be talking about penal spectatorship and its effect in America. A penal spectator is someone socially positioned at an experiential distance from imprisonment and the pains of imprisonment. Their meanings and understandings about punishment are developed largely through pop culture references. Dramatizations of crime and punishment in the popular media continue to be a focus of much public fascination and anxiety. Anxiety about crime in the media has stretched its claws deep into pop culture. It's influenced the setting of films, like how Law and Order Special Victims Unit is in New York, or even the type of crimes being committed, like how drugs are a primary factor in a case in CSI Miami, or even how an Italian family living in New Jersey reflects a mafia boss. The media is saturated with accounts of crime and control, and it seems that criminal justice has been a common theme of popular entertainment. A great deal of certain types of street crime is shown in both news and entertainment media. This coverage features a high proportion of violent crime, most notably murder and sexual offenses. Both forms also feature a high proportion of solved crime, heavily emphasizing police success as crime fighters. So you might ask, why are we so obsessed with crime? True crime gives an insight into our culture and normals as well as our anxiety and values. 35% of Americans say they consume true crime content at least once per week, including 1 in 4 who say they consume it multiple times a week. The top two ways people say they consume true crime content are TV shows and films. Morbid curiosity is a common psychological trait because it feeds our natural desire to solve puzzles and mysteries. It allows us to examine the darker sides of humanity at a safe distance and vicariously experience extreme situations. In an unsettling way, consuming content about crime may provide us with a sense of control and knowledge about an inherently uncertain and often anxiety provoking world. A significant concern is that the media can distort our perceptions of crime, for example, by focusing on specifically sensationalist crime. In reality, it is the mundane crimes that make up the most of what police officers are likely to be dealing with, and this is like petty theft, petty robbery, and small level violence. We can also assume that criminal justice media will affect perceptions and expectations of the legal system. The use of binary divides that we often see in media representations where people are presented as either good guys or bad guys is concerning. This crude oversimplification clearly lacks validity and does not do justice to the complex nature of reality. Another precedent that the media sets is the CSI effect. This is a phenomenon that is related to viewing forensic and crime based television shows. It describes the idea that viewing crime dramas will provide the public, and especially jurors, with unrealistic expectations of forensic evidence and police capabilities. So now you might be wondering, how does this media affect the public? There have been many concerns that have led to a lot of public debate, most prominently with respect to violence in television and film fiction, and the long running, still controversial question of whether violence in the media causes further violent behavior in viewers. The general aggression model is a comprehensive framework for understanding aggression. It considers the role of social, cognitive, personality, developmental, and biological factors on aggression. Supporters of the general aggression model are confident that exposure to media coverage of violent crimes is one of the factors that triggers human aggression. The trigger is desensitizing people to pain and suffering of others. Additionally, those who favor the general aggression model contend that prolonged exposure to violent media can fundamentally alter a person's personality, causing them to become callous and volatile. Um, another Some believe that at least 30 separate occurrences of gun violence were inspired by the Russian roulette scene from the movie The Deer Hunter, that the shooter in the University of Virginia Tech massacre was copying events from an action movie, and that there have been many instances of copycat crime inspired by movies. Here are some recommendations for both news outlets and individuals to improve perceptions of crime coverage. Put crime into context by providing relevant data on actual crime rates as well as outlining the external factors that contribute to crime. And for news outlets more specifically, try balancing stories about crime with stories about accomplishments.